Welcome to Persephone's Tavern.
Welcome back to Ivila. I am your humble DM, Trevor Tritt. Joined as always, we have Hayden Poindexter,
Galil Oremender,
Austin Boyette,
Krisk Ul'Tarkas,
Nick Lloyd,
Yuriael Gloomraven,
and Andrew Goebel.
Asimir Ashford, the bookworm scared of spiders.
All right, well, speaking of spiders, let's get right back into it. Last we left off, the party, eager to help Claudia Orander find her missing crew, met the young dwarf at Ogre's Rest Tavern to share a quick meal and set out for the mines in earnest. As they arrived at the gravel pits outside the mine, they found a readied cart with 2 horses. Thinking little of it at the time, they moved inside the mine entrance in search of Claudia's missing crew. Within the mine, the party was greeted by eerie silence and found the place all but abandoned. Tools scattered about and the discovery of a decomposed body, the apparent victim of a cave-in, suggested that no one had been here for a while. Feeling uneasy for your quarry, the group pressed on. As they neared the lift that would take them deeper into the mine, they heard a strange clicking and whispering echoing below. Descending the lift, they found themselves in an unfinished tunnel wreathed in webs. There were signs of a struggle and a distinct blood trail leading away. While exploring, they found some of the tunnels passed beneath those above and were connected by numerous narrow shafts. At the same time, they found a makeshift barrier of carts and crates. Hiding behind it, they discovered one of Claudia's crew. The terrified elf began to explain what had happened, but was interrupted by an errant clicking again, this time followed by a whisper.
I'm late. It's too late.
Let's kill him.
Can I
Yell back at it in Elvish and say, too late for what?
So as you turn back and look back down the corridor, on the ceiling, crawling from the tunnel that would have been straight across from the lift, going right around towards you guys in the tunnel that you are at, you see this, in the shadow of the darkness, what looks like a giant spider. You see this creature comes into the light, that the glow of the dancing lights and the hooded lanterns. You guys have various light sources at your disposal at this point. And as it comes into the dim view of this, you see that it's not just a spider. It's something else. This terrifying creature that crawls across the ceiling towards you is a combination of a spider and an elf. You see a monstrous spider body with 8 long appendages that get progressively larger from the back legs to the front legs. All but the front set are typical insectoid-like legs, but the forelegs, the 2 set in the front, the longest of all, are actually gaunt, lanky arms with ashy pale skin and spindly hands at the ends, grasping onto the top of the ceiling. Instead of the horrific maw of a spider, the creature has a drooping head of an elf, with black lacy hair, enormous black eyes, and the elongated jaw boasting rows of dripping fangs. As it stares at you through the darkness, through a curtain of black hair, it says once again,
I'm late. It's too late.
and I need you all to roll initiative, please.
We're gonna kill this
What
demon.
is this bitch?
Drider?
It's not a drider.
No, it's distinctively not a Drider. A Drider has like a almost centaur-like appearance. This is more like a Tsuchigumo, which is a Japanese spider demon.
Abomination.
Okay. Hayden, what was yours again? 12. Austin? 4. Nick?
11.
Injury?
Pity.
This was fun design. Okay. So he gets a... Come on. Let me balance this right. This will be a really short podcast. Okay.
Thank you all for listening. This was...
Alright, so it looks like at the top of the round, the spider gets to go. Or
good.
spider, monster, creature, demon.
Abomination.
Yeah. Abomination is at. Okay, so you guys are pretty... kind of, you're sparsely gathered around this blockade. Who was in there with him talking? I
It
think...
was me, Galil, and Claudia.
So yeah, you guys are on the other side of the debris pile, which will count as about 10 foot of difficult terrain.
We had heard talking.
And
We're heading.
Krisk and Yuriael are on the spider side of it. So you see this thing clinging to the ceiling, just kind of turns its head to the side so that its hair kind of pulls out of its face and it opens its mouth. And you see like its tongue start to curl. You hear this gargling sound and it just spits this loogie of like white fluid at you.
Rude.
Back to hot again.
This Asimir Smasher cast. Every monster for the rest of the campaign.
And she's back to that. That's that guy.
Yeah.
That's only 11 to hit though. So you dodge out of the way and you see this mucus sprays out and splats, and then it kind of like spreads into this spider web. You can see how that, like they would have pinned you to the wall if it hit you.
Touch it.
But that's all it can do. It moves a little closer, but it stays onto the ceiling. Let's see, that's going to bring us to Asimir on 15.
Man. Don't run.
I can't.
Get that. Fight it.
I see this giant spider. I start freaking out, going through my book as much as I can, and I just stop on a page I feel like might help out the situation a little bit easier. And anybody who was there with me, it's just a line of jokes that I've written down. Right, here we go. And I'm just gonna wave my hand over my book and shout out, "Why do paladins wear chainmail?" Because it's holy honor. Just say it's like there.
Okay.
Let's see if the crowd is tougher.
Do you say it in Elvish?
Elvish. In a language I can understand.
Yeah, we'll say yes.
I heard it saying Elvish. I guess I'll respond in Elvish. Yeah, it beats a 14.
All right.
I'm glad I don't understand.
Yeah. Galil, like, Yuriael's probably shaking his head. It wasn't funny.
It was.
You got a 5. So, hold on. You cast a spell and say this joke as your verbal component to the spell. And just as Yuriael's shaking his head to y'all to reaffirm that joke was not funny by common or elvish tongue, the spider starts to let out this horrific gurgling noise and cackle as it begins to laugh heartily before tumbling with a thud onto the ground, curled up on itself. While that does get him off the ceiling, he hits with a thud. He takes that 10-foot falling damage, and it is going to trigger. So let's see if he saves off of it or keeps laughing.
Tilting.
Either way, it'll put him in a great spot to beat the shit out of himself. If you like to look, you can. Those are good rolls. He gets, that was wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 15. Oh, shame.
It's fine.
Wait, with advantage, that was even higher. So yeah, he passes. So it works. It gets him off the wall. He's laughing all the way down, but as soon as he hits with a thud, he stops laughing, and he's almost choking on
You got the wind knocked out.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Still awesome though. For a spell that doesn't do damage, you just did 5 damage to him, so.
It puts him into melee attack range, so.
That brings us to Galil.
Okay. I am going to... How far away is he from the mouth of the...
He's 35 feet away from you, and Tim, it's difficult terrain. Okay.
So I will use my movement speed, which is 25, to get out and in front of the hole.
And you can clearly see Asimir. I assume you just poked out the hole and shot your spell from the corner. So you can see pretty well. This thing is quite large, but he's laying on his back with this kind of this chin up to you. But you can see about 15 feet away.
Okay, I stand up and position myself in between the spider and the little hole that Asimir, Claudia, and Morganzer are hiding, and I'll say, stay behind me, friends, and I will cast, as an action, Toll the Dead.
Okay.
And
Are you gonna stay on that side of the?
No.
So you're not gonna move, or?
I'm moving out in front and telling them to stay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Toll the Dead and then Searing Smite on my weapon.
Same action boss.
Searing Smite's a bonus.
Sweet. Charge it all. That's a 7.
He's
Saves are doing shit.
So he's going to take a D12. 3 necrotic damage.
3.
Yep.
Okay.
And then my hammer is dancing with flames.
Nice.
Pretty hot.
All right, that brings us to Yuriael.
Alrighty, I'm going to attempt to shoot it and place a hunter's mark on it.
Automatically happens. There's no save for the spell, so you got him marked, and then you can make an attack roll. He's prone, so you'll be doing this at disadvantage.
25 to hit.
Fuck yeah, you hit.
Nice. 11 plus 3. Yeah, 14 damage.
He's looking hurt, looking real hurt. All right, that brings us to Krisk. Did you want to move I'm sorry.
Can I hop up on top of this barricade? Like, just get some height advantage?
Yeah. I mean, you can climb up on it. It'll get you like a 5 feet up, more or less. No, not 5 feet up. 2 feet up.
Yeah.
Wait, you were with me.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it's just 10 foot of step back to get to the barricade, though.
I'm just like getting on top of where all these boxes are piled.
Oh, so we're next to it?
Yeah, you can go
Okay.
Yeah.
How far away am I?
From the creature, 20 feet. It's still just laying there, sprawling, because it hasn't had a chance to get up yet.
I would like to run up and attempt to hit it with my greatsword. It's prone still?
Yep, you get advantage.
Let's go.
Hit it hard.
I'd like to. 21.
Hits.
All right. Divine Smite.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so normal.
It's the first smite of the campaign.
2d8. 16 plus 7. So 21.
21 damage.
Yeah.
23.
No, 23. Yeah, 23.
Nice.
Demolish. Doesn't matter what type of damage it was. I think it's radiant.
Krisk, finishing.
And son?
Just cut him straight in half. Actually, yeah, I want to separate the bulbous part of his body from the rest of it.
Okay. All right. Just like you sliced those hunters, the wolf spiders in the cave.
Good with spiders.
Slices that thing right in half, and it goes
first.
It just goes limp. You see, like, as you chop it in half, you see like it's almost human elements try to like crawl and writhe on its back kind of towards you, but you see it's bleeding out of its mouth, and it just kind of falls dead limp.
Sweet.
Say, what in the hell sort of abomination was that, Claudia? What was it doing in his mind?
She says, "How the hell am I supposed to know? I was with you. Old Ganzo, do you know what the hell that is?" And the elf is like, "No, like I said, it ambushed us when we came in here. We had made it as far as the lift, and it dragged off Tarek. You heard him screaming. I ran and hid. I know it wasn't the most courageous thing to do, but I'm the one that's alive, so..."
You afraid that the other two are consumed?
I don't know. If you didn't find him, I don't know.
How long have you guys down here?
Days?
Yeah, at least they talked about a week.
Yeah, I've kind of lost track of time, but
There's one more passage we can check and see if the remaining two crew members are down there. I feel more confident about checking. But one thing does come to mind. It said it was too late, and I don't know what it could have been too late for. Aware that there could be something worse.
Moreover, what created this creature?
Yeah, and more than that, are there more of them?
It's definitely not a creature of the Tricord, I'll guarantee you that.
Hell fucking no.
One less in the world. I want to ask Morganther.
yeah.
I want to ask him if they noticed the body upstairs.
He says, "No, I'm not in what body? What are you talking about?"
Apparently there was a cave-in and someone was trapped beneath, but you guys must have been ambushed before then.
No, we've been here before. It was a standard maintenance check. We just kind of came in like we owned the place. Now that I think about it, it was a bit odd that it was so quiet, but we just let ourselves in.
Regardless, we need to find at least try to find the body, see if
Yes.
While you're talking to him, you hear from behind you, Claudia says, "By the gods, I know him." And you see that she's like leaning down, like right over this, elven face that's attached to the spider body.
Who was he from town?
She says, "Yeah, he was a minor. He and his how old is he? He and his wife were missing a few weeks ago.
His wife.
Left a son behind. Little tyke named Toby, I think it was."
Say, another orphan.
Yeah, we probably should send word to his family and let him know that he's not coming back, but I definitely would not let them know what had happened. Regardless, I think we need to go check that last tunnel and see if we can find the remaining two crew members.
We should tread carefully.
Could be the wife down here, too.
Well, all of these incidents seem to be linked to miners, or at least the mines. So it's possible that whatever's down here transformed him into this beast. So it might be able to do the same for us.
Would anyone like to make a perception or investigation check
Yeah.
on this creature itself?
I'd like to investigate.
Okay.
It's a fail.
I'm going to make a religion check to see if I know of any demons.
8 on the perception.
You've seen on religion?
11.
This creature doesn't seem like any sort of demon you'd ever heard of, but then you also know that demonic entities take many forms. But as you're studying it, you notice that on its neck, the back of its neck and its shoulders, or where shoulders would be, where its elf arms connect to the spider body, you see these raised scars in its skin. And you almost don't notice at first because the skin is the same color as the spider body. It's like this ashy, leathery gray. But you see there's these raised scars in this circular pattern. You see these odd runic symbols in the 3 patterns on its neck and its shoulders.
I pull out my pack and pull out a small piece of parchment and do my best to do a little rough sketch of the symbol that I see there.
Okay. All right. So as you're doing that, give me a sleight of hand check. Let's see how good you draw your sketches here.
Can I assist?
9.
It's a scrawling, but it's enough that if you showed a wizard somewhere that does a lot of study, maybe hit up a library, they might be able to cross-reference something for you.
It's more of a reference for my mind, just so
As you're doing that and rolling the scroll up, you see from beneath a fold in his thorax, a pretty large bundle of web rolls out, like a spider pod, like something had been carabised in it.
Here's one of them.
Yeah, it's about a small-sized pod.
Except there's a gnome with this way.
It could be. Yeah.
It's got it open.
say, Claudia, look away,
Yeah, I'm looking away too.
and then I'll reach down and tear some of the hands.
So you reach down and it's it's oblong shaped and you're like, oh god, and you go for where you think a face is gonna be, you pull it back, feet, and there's no body. There's a large blanket wrapped around something, and you peel it back and you see there's just a bag in there, like a backpack, like a traveler's backpack.
Pull it out, and
As you do, you hear the sound of items shifting further below the backpack. Like there's stuff in this pod.
okay, I pull it up and just sort of dump it all out onto the ground.
Okay. You guys want to hear your first treasure hoard?
Treasure!
Okay, so
Many things.
among these
Please.
oddly collected artifacts in this spider casing, why he raveled it up like a food item and kept it, you don't know. But what you find among it, 1,900 copper pieces.
Wow.
We can't carry all that.
I mean, it was pretty heavy. 1,500 silver pieces.
Thanks for dumping it all out.
90 gold pieces.
Shit.
And obviously you guys can split it up however you choose. I would hope fairly.
How many silver?
1,500. There's 11 various gemstones.
We rich.
in this bit. It's a pretty decent treasure haul. And then there are some actual items, artifacts here. Well, artifacts. Articles, I will say. You see that in this backpack there was a rod. There is a cloak. There is this small stone that has this very interesting looking carving in the center of it. And the bottom of the pod that's wrapped up in the blanket, basically the heaviest thing in there is a greatsword with a black blade, his like vicious looking weapon.
Yes, identify on it.
Which one? Blade. On the blade? Mm-hmm. It is a greatsword of vengeance. Grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and it's a magic weapon, so it's a +1 weapon. Barrier it is. Thanks for using identifier. It's cursed. Figure the wielder of this weapon is possessed by a vengeful spirit. Basically, makes you frenzy.
And fits in so well with the story arc.
Will you, as a paladin, knowingly accept a demon into you?
It's not a demon. It's
A vengeful spirit. It's a curse, and you could remove the curse, and then it's just a +1 weapon. But yeah, back in it, that's a sword of vengeance. You used to identify them out. You don't know. You haven't checked the rod or the stone or the cloak.
I bet this is a cloak of protection. That's what I wanted.
You want it to be?
But yeah, I guess we'll just bundle this all up.
And you say that for later. Maybe
Yeah, talk about it at
pawn it or something.
back at the chapel.
I could hold the sword. It's probably very much
I won't touch the sword. So just know that if you take this sword, it carries a burden with it.
You got it. Heavy burdens.
Do you take it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you have an attuned to it.
Right.
Do you leave it in the break it?
Eddie, I get it. No. Still my other one.
You know, it's odd. Even though I assume you trust Galil's judgment, you saw him cast a spell, you believe that it's cursed, but you don't get that presence. You don't feel that celestial or undead or fiendish energy that you normally do with your divine sense. So whatever has cursed this must not be of that origin.
Good.
Say,
Should clear the rest of this cavern.
Yeah, alright, then I do not want to walk into another one of these things getting into town.
toss you the rock with the scribbling on it. I say, you're always looking at scribblings. Maybe you can figure out what that is.
Sure, maybe.
Or
I don't.
pass you the rod, and I'll take the cloak for now, unless we find it some elven sneaky cloak, which I will have no use for.
Do elves have sneaky?
He's got a
Elvens have sneaky shoes and sneaky cloaks. They're sneaky.
You know about elves.
Just kill one.
No, we just killed a monster.
Now their elf is like, hey. Let's clear these caverns. We're already here.
We're still looking for two.
We have a duty to make sure that no evil
No,
is in here.
we need
Patrick
that.
says that's fine with me. If you don't mind though, I want to bring Mulganzer back to the lift and we'll meet you there.
Yeah, you guys get out of here.
Thanks for jumping in there because I didn't want to die.
I think, could you do us a favor? On the way up, could you check and see if that horse and carriage is still there? It was very curious. We still haven't found who it could have belonged to in here.
Yeah, I mean, do you want us to go ahead and head up there and check it
I
out?
know, wait at the lift for us. We don't know what else is up here. And they have ways of getting to the top floor.
I feel like getting Morgosa and Claudia out of the dungeon.
But alone?
Maybe someone can accompany. I don't know.
I'll do it.
Asimir.
That's what you really try to get the fuck out of here.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
Split the party.
And so as we want to go back with the listing.
They could just wait at the lift.
They could
They'll be
just,
in
or
here.
they could wait with us. I feel like it's a little bit better for them if they wait with us. They could at least defend them.
Yeah, we just let them leave, I think, is the play. We cleared everything behind us.
Well, we don't know if there's more of these things.
There's a way for them to get up to the second floor.
Listen, there's many ways to die, and we can dibble-dabble all day here about it, or we can clear this cabin while they leave it.
Let's clear the cavern.
Yeah, that's fine. We're going to wait by the lift. After all, we don't want to leave you guys down here.
That's right. For the children. For the children here.
We'll clear out these caverns for the children.
So
You go towards the one remaining pathway.
No, you go down this last path, and it is, for all intents and purposes, empty. It's wreathed in spider webs, but there's no one hiding down here. It's quiet, even more so quiet now that you've taken care of the thing making the clicking and hissing sounds.
I want to use my divine sense and see if within 60 feet of me there are any celestial fiend or undead. Nope. All clear.
Alright, well, let's get the hell out of here. Let's get some fresh air after the 30-minute walk we just had.
You guys head back to the lift?
Let's go.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Identify on the cloak.
Okay. It is a cloak of elven kind.
I toss it over.
I taught you that stuff.
Yeah, take you the rod. All right, so you guys do that quick trade
Yep.
and rejoin Claudia back at the lift?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were so many of them. Oh my god. Gods.
I'll operate the lift
Okay.
with my supreme strength.
Yuriael, you definitely hear it as he's cranking up the lift and you guys are going up. It's click, 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 click. And you get about halfway when you start to hear muffled conversation coming up from above. And you hear a male voice say, "It's a bit too quiet. You didn't get out, did it?" And he's saying, "What? No. We were only going for like 5 minutes. Couldn't have gotten out. We would have heard something." And it kind of goes back and forth like that for a second.
At the top of the lift,
Somewhere back in the passage above.
where our friends are supposed to be waiting.
No, they're waiting with you. They're on the list with you now. They didn't go ahead.
I point out to everybody, there's people up there. They're talking about something being out of where it should be. They may be the ones who made this sucker.
Let's not roast any, Jeff.
Yes.
You know, I think I'm with Krisk on this one. But then again, what else could they be fucking talking about?
What else could they have been talking about? What else could have been in here? I heard them say it too. I don't know.
Well, all we'd have to do is ask them.
Well, let's ask them.
Yeah.
You guys can get
I read it my
keep approaching. All right, so as you reach the top, not quite. I don't think yet. They're still a ways down the tunnel. You get up to the top level, and you can see down to the end there. And you only see down there because those two people are holding torches, and they look like they're standing on the end of the corridor, the little small corridor that had the shipping office that's just on the other side of the door. And they're just standing in that corridor talking to each other, which is still, about 80 feet from y'all. But as you guys come up, they look and notice you, and they there's like a flinch in their momentum, and they say, "Who the hell is that? Oh, fuck." And then they turn around and they start to run.
I yell at Yuriel.
I cast I cast command.
What's the range?
60.
You get a little closer. We might need to roll initiative and see if you can catch it.
Maybe. I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself. It's a bonus action.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
And then I'm going to shoot at them with my main action.
Whoa.
And that's going to give me 60 feet of movement whether or not it hits. And I'm going to run at them. If it does hit, it does an extra d6 of force damage.
They're still further than that, though.
Well, I'm hitting.
Well, you'll get really close. All right, so let's go ahead and roll those initiatives again. What'd you get?
1.
Krisk? 8. And you said you had a 12? 12. Andrew?
1.
1? You got to roll for trouble.
Wait, okay.
I had 9. No.
He had a 3 out of 19.
Okay, so
He knocked my dice over, though.
Okay, so on the top of the round, the one that says, "Oh, fuck," and turn around, he pushes the door open and gets out. So he's outside, but the other one hasn't had time to react yet. So it's going to go to you next. So you can do your Zephyr Strike on the one who's still caught flat-footed.
Yep.
So yeah, make an attack roll on him.
I know he saw me, but did he see me? Is this...
Oh no, it's bigger because it's disadvantageous.
Not unless you go ahead and do a stealth check somehow.
Gotcha. That's going to be a 10 to hit.
That is a miss.
Regardless.
Well, you do get to run way the fuck up there.
And I just zip 60 feet forward and yell out, "It's worse for you if you run."
It's like, Chris, you're next. So you see Yuriel blasted out of there in, bounty hunter mode. He's dogging it.
Cast command. Well, I move up 30 feet.
Yeah, you can get up and hit at least the guy that hasn't got outside yet.
And I cast
Actually, yeah, just that one. Okay, and it's a wisdom save.
Yeah. Tell us we come back.
That is a 13.
13. He saves. Wisdom of that.
Yeah. That's the risk you take with a paladin sometimes. Oops, I did not buff the magic. I did not buff the magic.
You guess not. He can't read very well.
It's bad. It's moved up 30 feet. I'll cut that spider in half, though. So. I mean, you did his stuff. You did as much damage in that one blow as everyone else did on their turns together. So he'll take pride in that. At any rate, though, you see this euphoria come over him for a second. You, especially because you're right there. He's kind of like, "Oh, get the hell out of my head," he says. It goes to him next. So he's going to turn around and try to bust out the door after his buddy. So you see there's it's actually getting dark, so it's not that tough for you to see him go outside. And you see he's going towards the wagon. His friend has already climbed up into the bench, is trying to get the bridle undone. So they're trying to make an attempt, but they're not out of the woods yet. So it's going to go to Hayden next.
Dash 50 feet forward.
Okay.
Does that get him to the doors or anything?
No, that gets him into that room cross chamber. So he's almost
They're not visible through the doors or anything?
Kinda, yeah. You see what he sees, just smaller. But you see Yuriel ahead of you, and then
Oh my gosh, I had advantage on that attack.
you can roll it.
It's again for a minute. Yeah, that hits. 26.
Yep.
Did it do anything if it hits him? An extra d6?
Yeah, d6. It's actually an extra d8.
About half.
4 piercing, 3 force damage in the leg, and non-lethal.
All right, he's not dead. Just keep in mind, though, had you done enough in that force damage be attached to it, there would have been nothing you can do about it. If you blow his chest cavity open with force damage, that will go well.
Well.
So yeah, just
I can hit him with all it did.
yeah, you could burst him into black fire.
Oh, yeah, and then we have no one to interrogate if
We'll have the other guy.
We catch him.
if we can catch him.
It's hard to Alright, I'll hold my turn. Oh, I dashed already, so 50 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, you already dashed. Asimir.
No, if I had moved 30 feet towards them, I still wouldn't be able to see them, would I?
Just a blip in the distance. Like you're in the same boat as Galil, so you could get a little bit further than Galil, but you're still going to be 60 feet away from the closest dude.
Yeah. With 60 feet?
Yeah, if you
You can hit him with a spell. I just damn it because it would kill him.
If you dash, you could be in the same room as him. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, if I dash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But if I just move my normal 30 feet, nothing.
No, it'll still be a ways.
Well,
Unless you got something that can go much further than that.
Warlock's mine.
I think sleep is a 60-foot spell. I'll just dash. Dash meet him in the antechamber or the cross chamber.
Okay, that brings us back to 2. Okay. He
You wait for his.
he ran out. About to find out how much does he like his buddy. He's got the reins.
What fates decide.
He says, you kind of see the ones I can see out the door, take a peek back, and he just says, "Sorry about your luck, mate." Snaps the reins, and you see the car starts moving. It doesn't get up to full speed yet, but it starts to drag away.
We shoot an arrow at that rice bag so we can tail him.
That's it on an 18, so it goes to Yuriael next.
Yeah.
You get to do the little move jump every time.
For a minute. Good spell.
I love that spell.
So Islanders only get 2 spells.
How far away is the guy on the cart?
Guy on the cart.
Is he within my visible distance?
He's in your visible distance for sure. Let me count. Yeah, I mean, your bow goes 120 feet on a good day, so
Well, it's the longbow, and I've got the sharpshooter feet.
70 feet out.
Great. Zephyr Strike, I shoot a flaming arrow onto the cart to try to set it on fire. And it's with advantage because it's a Zephyr Strike. Nice. That's going to hit with a 24.
24?
I'm assuming.
Okay. So
I'm hitting the cart, not hitting.
yeah, you shoot this cart into the back of it. You remember there was those piles of burlap sacks and rope back there, and this thing just goes, sticks right into it, and you see there's a plume of smoke, and then just within seconds you already see crackles of flame in there.
And then 60 feet further.
Okay, you have your outside now, and you see that there's only the other guy.
Yeah. You don't get opportunity attacks with Zephyr Strike.
Because he does like a bounce step, like he almost teleports. He's so fast. Turns into wind essentially.
I'm like Goku.
But yeah, you flash up, get your new hood way low, like fucking Ezio from Assassin's Creed, and you just shoot that bow, light it on fire. The other guy's kind of like, what the fuck? And then that brings it to Krisk.
So I'd already moved up 30 feet. If I were to move up another 30 feet, what would I see? Like, how far away would I be from the further back guy, and how far away would I be from the wagon?
All right, so if you move up another 30 feet, you'll be 10 feet in front of Asimir. And so you'll be able to see that much better than him, which gives you, it's about, you would be 5, 10, 15 feet from the door. And then the cart is now 40 feet beyond that. So 55 feet is where the guy on the cart is. But the closer one is just on the other side of the door, so from you, 25 feet.
Did I get close to the? You said I'm
With your move, you were 15 feet from the door, so you could dash and get outside. You could dash and get next to the other guy.
Yeah, that guy couldn't do anything. Well, he could leave my range.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do anything either, really.
Okay, I'll do that then. I've dashed.
So yeah, you run up and get in his space. That's going to bring it to his turn next. He's already injured from having been shot by Krisk in the leg with that force bow. You see, like, his shin is like wide open on the side. And he's kind of hobbling away, trying to move away from you. So if you would like to make an AOO, you can.
I will. Non-lethal.
He's trying to flee and get to the sky.
Non-lethal shoulder. So
Non-lethal attack of opportunity, if I can.
Yep, absolutely. As long as it's with a weapon.
Great sword.
Not that great sword. I mean, it can be. You haven't attuned to it, so it's just a great sword at this point.
I will use that great sword. It's already in my hands.
Cleave it with that heft.
20.
That's a hit.
Mostly trying to trip him, non-lethal. No, glide dead. 16 damage. Non-lethal.
What's a lot?
So dissect him non-lethally.
So he's kind of hobbling, and he turns to just try to flee, and it's just like the most pathetic thing you've ever seen, because he's already wounded. He couldn't possibly get away. He couldn't possibly even reach the horse that is now fleeing.
I just stick it between his legs. I'm his. I know that goes to a ride. I just trip him, and it cuts his leg.
You know what? That's funnier than what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just trip him up, and he falls right on his face, and all of that damage goes right in his fucking nose, and you see a puff of dust on the ground, and then you hear snoring.
Yeah. That is a snorer.
Yeah, Nick knows what I'm talking about. That UFC snoring, that lights out. kind of snoring. But yeah, he's out. That brings us to the ones.
No. The ones. You first.
Yep.
You will. Okay. 30 feet of movement forward. Where am I?
25?
25.
You're where Chris just was. You're 15 feet from the door.
Okay. And how far from the cart is that?
55.
Perfect. I will run to that, and then I'm going to toll the guy running away.
Okay.
With this head.
You can't be lethal.
That's not going to get one kill.
He had taken any damage. And he also just rolled an 18, so he's going to save it.
Sorry.
Jump out of that short sooner.
On fire. Yeah, it's on fire. Open voice. All right, anything else? Okay.
That'll be my turn.
As you.
And film. How close would I get to the carriage if I moved my full 60 feet?
You can get up to your full 60 feet.
If I dash.
If you dash, you can get
10 feet away. Where I am?
You would be 10 feet away from the cart.
Right.
If you dash.
Right next to me.
I'm gonna dash.
Because you're 20 feet away from one.
I'm gonna dash up, I guess, by Yuriael. Kind of again, he's gonna hear this in his head too. Whoever's in the cart, as I just shout, "Best I'll run. We'll find you." So I'm gonna shout it out loud
Give it an intimidation check.
inside his brain. Intimidation. That's a 5.
I don't believe you.
Well, your noggins on fire.
Too scared to listen to you.
He calls back, yours isn't the loudest voice in my head these days. All right, that brings us back to round. So it is his turn.
Bye-bye.
And he takes off full speed, wafting air into the flames into the back. And he gets about 30 feet up to the edge of basically to the edge of the gravel pit back onto the main road. And you see this thing is just a huge wafting thing.
Moving fire.
And by the time he gets to the end of his move, you see that this pluming cart of fire takes a hard right and begins running towards the town. And he jumps off into the ditch and starts rolling.
We fucked up.
All those orphans.
And so you see he's like falling off the cart. He's pretty fucking hurt. But you see he gets up and starts hobbling towards the east, out of town, towards the mountain. So on Yuriel's turn, what do you do? The cart is going towards the town. He is escaping out of town.
There's a burning cart heading towards town.
I'm going to shoot him with my Zephyr Strike and run for the cart. It's a 9 to hit.
9 to hit. And you see he's scrambling in the dirt to kind of pick himself up, and you send an arrow his way, but it just ricochets off the stones near his feet, just shy of missing. Or just shy of hitting, rather.
And then I move 60 feet towards the cart. How close am I to the cart?
He can only go 60 feet.
So it's 10 feet ahead of me.
But, yeah, so you catch up to him almost, but you're gonna need to... It can go as fast as you notice later. I mean, you're theoretically still in the village. Like, you see sparse buildings that are going back down the slope into the bluffs. But, like, the mine was built in the northmost bluff. So, there's buildings all along the second tier of that bluff. You're on the first tier.
It might be better to try to wound.
Essentially, he's heading towards the markets is where he's going. But it's going to take him probably 15-20 minutes of hauling ass. There's a chance that they burn to death before they get to town, but who knows what they do along the way.
Yeah, I'm just going to shout to anyone nearby.
Horse is on fire! Horse is on fire!
Your horse is on fire here!
Only 12 gold. Horse.
Watch out for the horse is on fire!
Nightmare for sale. Is that a new band? Hard
Horse is on fire! Please, somebody, create water!
Good afternoon, Krisk.
I will pick up the incapacitated pedestrian, sling him over my shoulder, and continue to run.
And after you're, he's quite heavy, so you are not able to go at your full speed, but you do keep moving that way. Hey, go up.
30 feet towards the guy that's running away.
Okay, you're still a ways off.
How far?
I mean, he's still 85 feet away from you. Now you see, Krisk has the one he knocked out. It's like theoretically, you guys do have a prisoner.
I don't condone death, but torture is a different subject entirely.
Yeah, I'm still going to. I'm just gonna dash, and I'll be 50 feet away from him. Okay. Try to keep my eyes on him.
Asimir?
I'm not a sprinter by any means. I'm probably just going to be sticking with the group. Probably just keeping huff and toe with Krisk.
Yeah, that's easy enough. It ends up falling into more or less, Yuriael has a pretty good lead, and the three of you guys get clumped back together. It's
Out of the initiative.
carrying this guy out of the gravel pit behind him. And that brings us back to round. The fleeing guy is just going to make a full 60-foot dash, which will put him 80 feet away from you, Yuriael, and it's going to go back to you.
Going towards him, or you going towards the cart?
You'll be the only person that can catch him. I will not, with my speed, be able to catch him.
If that, then at this rate, you can keep in line with him, and it's going to be who runs out of energy first.
It's definitely
Unless you want to keep shooting him, obviously.
2 people.
But if you want to try to capture him and do long lethal, then it's going to end up coming down to who gets winded faster, and we'll break the chase rules for
Why
that.
don't you just non-lethal him on the leg and go after him?
Zephyr Strike, just try to get a good pop shot.
Yeah, it's not going to do any good to shoot at the horse anyways, unless you're trying to wound it.
No, I'm trying to keep the horses.
Well,
I need to
shoot the guy non-lethal, run after the horse and cart. You're never going to catch it.
Here's the thing. You can chase the guy. You can blast the car as a man.
I think it's out of range now.
Oh, no, I don't have that kind of artillery.
Okay, I'm gonna Zephyr Strike this guy, and I'm going to take a -5 to my attack roll.
Get a sharpshooter this bitch.
Don't kill his ass. I was about to say,
And it's a crit.
I was about to say, don't do it because there's a decent chance you'll crit.
He's dead.
You could have non-lethal.
He's dead.
You want to roll damage just for funsies?
Oh, so you just see like the wind.
It does that thing where you see archers go like on a knee and like go sideways with it and really line up the shots.
You need a B8.
Oh, it's all one.
No, it's not.
It's a lot.
Okay, so 9 force
18 on the
damage.
dice.
There's 9 piercing plus another 3, so that's 18, 22, or no, 21. And then plus
A squirrel just watched a man explode.
31,
Bloody mess.
31 damage.
Okay.
I would like to say non-lethal, but the force damage.
Zephyr Strike. Say, we could have dropped that spell anytime you wanted, buddy.
How about it not?
So you shoot this like pinpoint accurate shot, and from your perspective, all you see is an arrow go straight through his spine.
This that confetti.
And there's just like an entry wound. You don't see the fletching of your arrow anymore. You're like, damn, that went straight through. What you don't see is that as he goes like this, his entire torso has exploded. He's open, like a rib split.
with that rosin gone.
And you don't see it because it's on the other side, but there is a football-shaped cavity in the middle of his chest where his heart used to be.
Tarantino movie in this.
His ribs sticking out, and he just goes onto the ground.
Told him it was worse if he wrong.
He didn't say that.
No, we told him that twice. That's on him.
And all you hear is a little from your bowstring.
That went through 3 trees and stuck in the fourth.
You know where that arrow ended up.
And then 60 feet towards the horses.
I'm cooking this one.
Yep. Keeping the yelling horses.
Horses on fire! Horses on fire!
Perfect.
Please save my horses!
All right, back to Krisk. You got a deer on your shoulders, hoofing it.
I saw that atrocity.
Well, you saw a guy get shot in the back.
Yeah.
Looks like you got him.
He's down. I guess I'm going to go back with everyone else besides Yuriael and say we should get back to town. That's for sure.
Do we not want to wake this guy up a little bit before we get into town? Walking into town with someone over your shoulder?
Claudia kind of catches up behind with the elf with them, and she's kind of winded. Looking at you like, how are you running like this?
I was just about to say, I'm not running anymore, and there's no way of catching the car.
She's like,
I'm gonna walk to town.
I don't want to. We're sprint. Don't want to let the houses catch on fire, but I think he's got it. And you hear the distant. So she's like, yeah. So if you guys don't mind, you follow me back to the shop. I'm sure we could talk Saul into giving you guys something for helping us out. But I mean, I understand if you got places to go. I thank you for everything.
Asimir brings up a good point.
Yeah,
We should interrogate this guy before we get to town.
Oh yeah, she kind of.
We turn it over to the authorities.
I guess that's fair. She kind of seems uneasy about it. Like that's maybe not what she would have done, but
Well, we can still turn him over to the authorities, but I think it's best that we find out everything they know about this situation.
Sure.
Slap him up real quick, and if he does anything, we knock him out again.
I don't know. It looks like you hit him pretty hard, so I don't know how soon he's going to be awake.
He'll be fine. I want to take him up, place him on the ground, and just put one finger on him and cast Lay on Hands and give him 1 HP.
Oh, actually, when he does that, immediately as he's waking up, can I cast Charm Person?
You can.
14.
Interesting.
15.
That's why you don't know the DM the number.
It's not.
Budget like on that works.
I don't know. It's every turn. You can look at him and cast finally. It's so used to it.
Doesn't matter. That's my last spell slot.
But you see, he comes to with just a gasp, and you see like he's got like that concussed look in his eyes, like he just got hit in the head by a sword.
I'm like over him.
Well, no, he got hit in the head by a rock.
Put my hands on his shoulders.
But you cast that, and again, it's like this euphoria falls over, but they're able to shake this charm off. You know, the dice have been not in your favor, but maybe there's something else holding that magic at bay.
Bonus.
I'll reach down with my shackles and I'll clip them onto his hands, and then I use my channel divinity to form a chain in between the two shackles.
Interesting.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, 41.
Excellent.
So as you clasp these shackles on him,
For a split second, you see a image of a winged smoke creature again, just like before when Claudia was working the forge.
I recoil my hands away from him.
and just as you do it, it goes away, and he's still kind of reeling. You see, you've successfully put the manacles on him. He's secured.
Okay, I uneasily kind of put my hand on my warrior and step back for them to do the interrogation.
Nice. I'll crouch down beside his head if that's where we're putting positioning. Like he's on top of him, I'm just off to the side. And you're on the other side, assume, with the chains.
I put them on him. He's just restrained.
He's shackled, and he's still punch-struck from getting knocked out. So he's just kind of reeling. He's like, "Where the hell am I? What the?"
Hey, it's okay. You're on the ground. We knocked you the fuck out.
And he kind of starts to fight him.
No.
You guys,
Good luck.
the four of you together more than can easily subdue him at this point.
Gonna push his forehead, keep him down. He's like, no, don't move. Hi, how are you doing today? So honestly, really good try. I've never seen something like that before. Honest, good try. Who are you, by the way?
Just fuck you.
No, thank you, but I'm not into that kind of stuff. So, who are you?
He doesn't say anything.
I want to scream at him, like with somewhat of a primal rage, and attempt to intimidate him. I want to say the same thing. Who are you?
All right, so you yell this very brutal,
Yeah, and really let your half-orc side kind of shine for a second, and kind of bare your fangs a bit.
intimidation check.
Could I be there kind of also like for the assist?
You're not intimidating.
What are you talking about? It's like,
I'll say you have advantage. If not for that, the situation at hand is
Because you almost just killed him.
Yeah, 21.
He says,
My name's Match as fuck.
Matches.
matches? Matches fuck.
name.
So, Mr. Fuck, may I
Matches.
call you? Oh, he did say go fuck. Okay, my mistake. Didn't realize it. Mr. Fuck, what were you doing? We heard you talking me, whatever, to you. I would say friend, but you did just kind of ditch you. And I think he might be dead. I do know Yuriael kind of well at this point. I think he's probably dead.
He just kind of chuckles to himself. Fuck him, he left me behind.
You know what? I like that spirit. So why don't you tell me what he was doing? That would be so helpful right now. Honestly.
We're just doing a job.
Hey, and we're doing a job too. You were going down the mines trying to find some people. What was your job?
Same thing, oddly enough.
Inside.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, don't worry about it.
You gotta roll a nat 20.
Very interesting. Very interesting. What was that? Do you know what that was? What was going on over there, down there? With the half man, half Spider-Man? I know you were talking about it. No point of hiding.
We're supposed to keep it down there.
Oh, good job. Honestly, good job. Very impressive. It got out.
It didn't get out. You guys, wait. Where is it?
And don't worry about it. We killed the fuck out of it.
He starts laughing.
Hey, say with me. I'm gonna slide his cheek a little bit. Hey, come on.
Laugh me.
No, you're fucked, not me. Look, we're really tired. I hate spiders. So why don't you just go ahead and just explain your perspective of why you're here, what that was, who you're working for, who you got the job from, is it in town, are they out of town? Just whatever details you got. Honestly, I mean, I can't do anything. But this guy on top of your lap, yeah, this man will fucking eat your throat.
I cut in and I say, just put him out, Chris. The Tricorps will recognize their own.
No, I wouldn't say that necessarily right now.
He says, there isn't enough gold in the world for me to talk.
Got halfway through, I just want to knock him out.
Better make an attack roll.
Yeah. Just... No, natural one.
Jeez, you punch the ground. It hurts.
Trying to hide. Come on, there's an intimidation.
Yeah, advantage because he's prone?
Yeah. Bastard.
Yeah, that's 9 plus 2, so 11 to unarmored man.
No, he's not unarmored.
Oh, he's not unarmored.
No one ever asked, but he's wearing leather armor. You go to punch him in the head, and he just kind of rolls his head back, and you hit the ground real hard.
Piece of shit. First, knock him out.
Leave that to me. And I just want to put an elbow into his face and knock him in there.
Yeah, knock him. I mean, you can roll if you want to, but nope, you probably hit him.
Yeah, he's prone.
You have advantage.
Yeah, a little leaner, but
DC 12.
19, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
I missed him by one.
He goes out.
I use lay on hands and wake him up again.
You're like, why? You just wanted to punch him?
We have 10 more.
Advantage on my intimidation check.
8 more times.
I can.
Okay, so you punch him and bring him back, and he...
Feels good, doesn't it?
And you see it's very unsettling having, on the trot.
I can do this all day.
It's gotta be like waterboarding.
Yeah.
In a way.
I want to say, what will your masters think whenever they find out that we've killed that creature?
Masters. That's very kinky. Why would say like your boss?
He says, my boss is well connected. You guys are gonna regret fucking with us.
Not before you will. If you don't give us some more information right now, you won't make it to town.
Do your
I don't
worst.
think he wants to make it to town.
Hit him again.
You going for the kill this time, or he's gonna knock him out now? You knock him out.
Yeah. I will carry him back to town.
Lay on hands again.
Nah. I can do it.
All right. So in the meantime, while they're having that conversation, horse is on fire. This is on fire. We'll say another 2 rounds or so passes. So what are you doing for those 2 rounds?
We gotta run out of here.
You Zephyr strike the horse and get on the cart.
The problem is the horse is running as fast as he can with the Zephyr Strike.
Only possible thing you can do is either get up the chase
Or the damage,
blame the horse.
or the damage the cart enough that it can't be driven anymore. There's 2 horses though, so it's
Or there.
yeah.
I'm going to Zephyr Strike and attempt to hit one of the wheels on the card.
Go for it. Is it attack roll?
Yeah.
It's not a very difficult DC, even with a moving card.
Not force damage, it's force damage.
I approve of this.
I'm quitting the podcast.
16 to hit.
Definitely does roll damage,
Great.
and the force damage is going to help.
5 force damage and 5 piercing damage.
10 damage. So, yeah, you realize that this thing's just going to keep careening ahead of you until you do something, and so you change up your strategy a little bit. You shoot the wheel. You hit it right on the axle, and you see this little explosion from the arrowhead exploding, and you see the wheel just kind of wobbles, and it just starts to shatter as little bits of the spoke start breaking off and becomes unstable, and you see the whole wheel breaks off into a chunk of splinters. The whole cart goes to, starts dragging that axle across the floor. You see that the horse is having a tough time moving away from it. And so now at this point, you can move up. As it's slowed down, you can move ahead of it and either, quickly unbridle the horse or pull the hitch off the trailer so the horses can run away from the wagon or whatever you want to try. But you now have the speed advantage to catch up.
Casting him to... Yeah, 2 of them.
I'd like to grab the horse's reins and basically, I guess, try and jump on one, hold the other's reins, and then
Disconnect them.
Disconnect the cart.
Okay, so you want to do it in one go. I would say you could probably either jump on the horse and take control of the horses this turn, or try to separate the cart from the horses this turn, but probably not both.
We'll try to take control of the horses first.
Okay. So,
Good animal.
yeah, and because it's all kind of happening in the moment in a chase, instead of using half your movement to just mount the horse, because it's in a frightened state anyways, go ahead and do an animal handling check to see if you can pacify it. It's a DC 10 animal handling check to just incorporate that into your movement and go ahead and jump it off. Good. 2. So you run up with your Zephyr. I assume that was in the same motion as shooting the wheel, and you use your movement immediately after that, right? To get up to it?
Yeah.
So on that same turn that you shot the wheel off, think careens down and comes to a halt. You have that speed burst, and you run up and you grab the bridle on the reins and you start pulling on it. And right as you're trying to climb up on top of it, and they're not wearing saddles, they're hitched to a wagon. It's a completely different setup. So it's already awkward to try to ride one, but you climb up, and as you do, the horse panics. It doesn't know what's going on. It feels that tug, and it thinks that something's going on with the fire. It starts to buck, and you see the whole thing shakes. It knocks you off. You don't fall prone or anything, but you fall back, and it's almost like that move never happened.
Gotcha.
Still, the cart is being slowed up. You can try again next go around. So you want to try that again, or try a different approach?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and mount the horse again.
Okay. Give me another animal handling check.
Nice. 14.
Okay. Yeah, you make it this time. You run and you jump up onto the thing. Now you're getting closer to town now. You can already see buildings whizzing past you as you go, and you see like people are starting to notice because they're all coming home from work. This is right when the market town starts getting bustling and all the taverns are filling up as everyone gets home from their jobs.
Flaming cart coming down.
And yeah, you're just careening on this car. It's looking like you're gonna get into the busy crossroads sooner than not. You've got like one more chance to get this horse to stop or something before it's gonna become like a public issue.
Yes. I'm gonna turn around and shoot where the wood beam that's holding the horses onto the.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
It's gonna be a 18 to hit.
Okay, roll the damage.
6 and better. Okay. So
16.
Yeah, 16.
Okay. Just like the wheel, you put all that image in that focus spot and you hit it right on the hitch, and it just, like the arrowhead goes right between the 2 points where the hitch goes on top of the whatever the bridle setup is for the horses, and it like pins in between it and blasts them apart in the splintered wood, and you see the cart starts to like drag to a slow and kind of tumble over itself and crumple as the horses are still kind of out of control, but they're running into town, a lot less of a hazard.
Can I use my movement speed to try and stop them, or is that an action?
Well, let's just say, give me one more animal handling check as you try to pull both these horses to a stop.
11.
11? So you pull on the reins just as the cart starts to tumble and crash, and you come up to a stop about 15 feet ahead of where all that is, and you just see this, you look back and you just see this pile of burning cart, billowing smoke, and you hear the murmur of the crowd behind you, and you can see some of the town guards are walking up with their spears, kind of like, what the heck are we about
I'm
to?
gonna dismount the horse and hold both of their reins and try and find a place where I can bridle them up at.
Okay.
And just say,
Yeah, easy enough. You find a tree that's close.
No thanks needed, people. It's just what I do.
and then I'm going to try and walk over to the burning cart and put it out.
Okay. How?
That's a great question.
The guards come up. One of them's
Cloak, you could do
he's an elvish guy, and he's like, "That was crazy! What the hell was that? We heard someone yelling horses on fire."
That was me. That was me.
I mean, it's pretty clutch. He looks back, and there's like school teacher escorting a group of kids across the street or something. I think he would have been the most. It's all for the children.
I say I do it for the kids. Really.
That's amazing. In the distance, you guys are coming down the road real slow behind. I mean, that took, what, 3 rounds?
Yeah.
So, they're almost 200 feet ahead of you. But even at that distance, you see this burning pyre of a cart at the end of the road.
Looks like he stopped it.
That's going to be this town's new slogan, is for the children.
Welcome to Dragon's Breath. For the children.
Yes. Yeah, I guess we'll approach it.
So yeah, you approach Yuriael, and it's just as I said. You see that the cart is on fire, tumbled over itself in an absolute wreck. But you see the 2 horses are no worse for wear, and the town is safe. And Yuriael is kind of just
Showboat a little bit.
yeah, showboat a little bit. The crowd's kind of gathered around him, wondering what that spectacle was. And
I approach the guards.
I say, they're going to take him. If you want to investigate him, I would suggest you peel off and go to the chapel.
We could probably just meet you there.
We've already interrogated him.
You're done with him, you're turning him over.
I mean,
I feel like we can get a little bit squeezed out of that lemon.
Claudia says, "I think this guy's a point. I mean, he belongs in a jail cell,
yeah.
if nothing else."
Yeah, exactly. I want to say, guards, please. We can explain this entire situation, and we have proof to back it up. If you would please just hear us out, we could explain everything.
Yeah, sure. He sees that you're carrying this person. He kind of like looks him up, and he grabs the guy by the hair. He picks up his head and kind of drops him, and he's just like, one of the ruffians from Bahamut's Spine, is it?
And I wouldn't know, sir, but
Get to the bottom of this.
Was the other guy running towards Bahamut's Spine?
Yeah, I mean he's going towards
the town, which is
the
probably
Silver Flight Mountains.
I can carry him to the jail
It's
cell.
still, a long way away, so not necessarily.
Yeah.
But
General direction, perhaps.
the guard himself mentioned Bahamut's Spine as if there had been a precedence of ruffians.
Yeah.
So,
I have no trouble carrying him. I could just show me where to put him.
sure, if it's no problem for you, I'll escort you back up, put them in the jail cell proper. You won't be able to make a statement until the morning, though.
That's fine. Whatever you need.
Sure.
I reach over to Krisk Ul and I undo the shackles off the unconscious guy and drape him over my shoulder.
Say, we got 2 horses now.
Well,
No.
I don't know who they belong to.
Yes,
Probably these
they
guys.
belong to me by right of combat.
And the guards look at each other and they're like, I mean, if there's no branding for any horses inside the town, who's to say they're not wild horses?
They're mine.
Besides, he kind of looks at the guy that's being taken into custody with Krisk and he says, less paperwork for me to deal with. He says, if you want horses, you have to.
I have 2 horses.
But as that's kind of dying down, you see Krisk is walking off with the guards to head towards where they're going to take you.
Stay close.
Claudia looks to the rest of you and says, well, me and Morganza are going to go back to the forge. I got to drop off some tools and then, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some sleep.
Yeah, not kidding.
I want to turn back to her, and I want to say, I'm sorry your other 2 comrades didn't make it.
No.
Well,
Deepest condolences.
we didn't find their bodies, so I am going to just hold out hope that they made it out of that cave somehow.
Let's hope so.
I reach out and say, I'm going back to the chapel. I don't know if we'll cross paths again, but do tell your father I said hello. And then I start walking away.
Very interesting. She doesn't say anything, but those that are still standing there as he walks away, she does kind of like look at him funny. Look at the rest of you like, what the fuck was that supposed to mean? So she's just like, okay, and she says, come on, Morganza, let's fucking go.
They meet us back at the chapel, Chris.
Amen.
Right, dead already.
You guys are gonna head back to the chapel.
I was about to say, you don't enter that and go off.
It's a
Use a biscuit.
You guys wait the appropriate amount of time to split up. Galil sets out first with the rest of you for the chapel. Krisk still stays with the guards for a while at the the wreck scene to help clear that situation up before escorting the prisoner to where he needs to go. And then finally, Claudia and her guy go back to the smith. So you guys split up effectively. I guess Krisk, they escort you up, and they have to get on a wagon themselves, more for ease, because you do have to go on this particular bluff. There's not a direct lift. You do have to go around the road, which takes about an extra 20 minutes. But you guys spiral up, and you see that they take you through this section of a bluff that is at night pretty, undiscerning. You see lots of buildings that don't look like they're open or anything. There's not really a lot of streetlight activity, and similar to the chapel bluff, there is a mixture of trees and foliage and topography that's very well curated. They've taken the natural beauty and tried to leave it as much as possible. But they quickly take you off of that bluff, and you have to go across one of the suspension bridges, which is pretty. Like, it's a sight because as you're going across, you can see down. There's not but the steel ropes that are blocking any sort of field of view. So you can look down and you just see this star field of glowing oranges and whites of lights that are going on at the city below. And there's almost like a dull roar of life coming up out of this valley, and it echoes off the bluffs, and you can hear it on your ears like a tone. And then you come across and you see in the distance on the other side of this bridge a tall, not quite a castle, but definitely some sort of fort, keep, or structure. It's multiple stories, probably 5 stories at its highest tower, but it's up like a smaller spiral section of a bluff. So you come out and you're already at the tip of this bluff, but this one has an even smaller section that goes up even higher, and they've built this keep on top of it. And so you follow along that. The drive ends up being a little over an hour for you, but you're seeing all of this landscape. And as you get up towards this large building, they go into the border wall of this facility, the structure, and go around this main entryway. You see this large kind of grand staircase that goes up, I don't know, probably 20-30 feet of stairs into this large opening. But you go all the way around this building, around to the back, and there's a secondary entrance. You see multiple guards set up there and a watch house, and they drive you into this basically like a garage. Like these big bay doors open up and you drive into a structure, and they close behind you. But they take you down a stairwell past an office into this row of like 10 cells. Like a very Skyrim-y kind of prison.
Where would you like him?
He just points over to the second cell. You see a deputy or one of the lower level soldiers walks up and pulls the door open for you in anticipation, and you can just walk him in there.
Not too gently, but not hard enough to hurt him. I place him on the ground and leave the cell.
Sure. The guard closes it, and you hear a loud, timbrous clang as he closes the tumble on the lock.
You said tomorrow morning you'd like the statement?
Yeah. I don't deal with the paperwork. You probably want to talk to the captain of the guard anyway.
Should I speak to him now or come back in the morning?
He's not here now. That was kind of what I was getting at.
Well, we'll stay in town for the night anyways. You don't have to worry about us going anywhere. We're actually staying at the chapel. We've made a deal with, well, I wouldn't say we made a deal with him, but he's putting us up for the night. So if you need anything between now and then, that's where you can find us.
Sure. Add a Christopher.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where I'm heading now, so good luck to you.
I remember him always still a friar.
Well, bye.
Okay.
I leave.
You head back towards the chapel?
And I make my way back to the chapel. Probably takes me, 30 minutes?
Yeah, roundabout, because you go across the bridge you came back from, and you go on another bridge, and that brings you back to the chapel district.
Okay.
So yeah, for the rest of you, that was 2 hours that passed, maybe 2.5 hours that passed. For you guys to get back to the chapel, doctor, this 5 copper, by the way. You take the lift back up, and you get back over there in 45 minutes.
Do I have to take it twice?
No, you're not taking the lift. That's partially why it took so long. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I am rather tired. After hearing from that criminal about Matt's spine and all the criminals we've heard of so far, really would like to make it up that direction early tomorrow.
I will admit I do have some need to want to go up there. I would say need, a desire to go up there now.
You're a bounty hunter, right?
Correct.
Sure, there's tons of
Bet there was a bounty on those 2 fellows we had.
Yeah. I imagine there's probably even larger bounties on the heads of the people involved.
Speaking of, can I retcon and ride one of my horses back and grab the dead guy? Bring him back into town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to take the time.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with them?
As soon as I get to him, loot him for any valuables, and then take him to the jail and say, hey, happen to be a bounty on this fella?
So you kind of follow in Krisk's footsteps, or do you want to? Well, no, because you would have had to gone back, so you would have followed up behind him about
I'm a horse.
30 minutes or so, we'll say.
But I got both the horses with me.
But you do finally show up a little bit later and go to the little guardhouse, and the guy there is like, "Oh fuck, you killed the hell out of him, didn't you?"
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check. And he goes inside. No, not one of ours. I mean, if you want to drag him all the way to the capital to see if they had him there, I don't know if he's going to keep that long.
That's okay.
Can you dispose of them for me?
Only because I don't want to deal with the macabre question of why I let a civilian bury a dead body that they don't know.
Great.
So, yeah, we'll figure it out. Just
Glad we came to a mutual understanding.
We probably shouldn't handle it this way. He's like, it's late and it's dark and
I'll bring you more, don't worry.
like, just so you know that the Inquisitor's office is on the north bluff. You might want to check them out if you're looking for anything of that line of work. We tend to prefer our civilians, criminal or otherwise, alive and unharmed.
I'll keep that in mind. At the back of my mind.
Very, very far back.
Very back.
Yeah, we have to charge them with something, and they have to run away with it before they can have a bounty. And
He definitely ran.
unfortunately, this guy,
Told him it'd be worse if he ran.
it clearly was. I mean, look at that hole. How did you even do that? You would have had to take a mace to it.
With a simple arrow, my friend.
You lie. Roll a persuasion check.
7.
Okay, so he doesn't seem convinced. He says, I'd love to see that.
I'll show you sometime.
I like to imagine you guys just stared at each other and it's like, are we staring at the same energy? Let's try it again and count.
As I can say, on my way to the Inquisitor's office tomorrow, I will stop by here in the morning and show you.
Okay.
For now, I must rest.
Alright, so you make your way back to the chapel. So the sake of brevity, Chris does eventually show up at the chapel, and Yuriael does about 30 minutes later. And then you guys reconvene for...
I'm going to go to sleep, go back to the corner, take off my armor, and then
Place to put the
slump down. And
that Christopher is doing basically the same routine as last night. He greets you warmly, and he says, it looks like you all had a pretty busy day.
Yes, I would, Christopher. It's been a day.
All in the name of the tricord.
All for the children.
All the children.
Yes, well, there's food in the galley if you're hungry. I'm off to bed.
Thank you so much. You are absolutely amazing at it, Christopher. Thank you.
And Galil's pretty smooth. And you guys going off to your corners of the chapel for your bed.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, go up my little pew that I was sleeping the other night and just kind of, regardless if anything happens, just open up the book again and just think to myself.
You're flipping?
Yeah, just flicking through the books, reading everything, going through my spell book, realigning my spells. Who's I guess, whoever's like the most conscious.
It seems like Yuriael at this point.
Yeah, I'm outside just doting on the horses, giving them some love and attention.
I guess you would just kind of hear in your head is like, what does it mean about Bahamut's spine? This shit's all fucked up, I don't know, and it just cuts off.
Just mutter, man, that guy's weird.
Yeah. You kind of like go off to bed.
Yeah.
Asimir, you going off to bed?
Yeah, it's gonna be an all I read until I pass out.
All right, so you do so. You're reading through your spells. You've learned a couple new tricks in the time you've been here, and you're just kind of studying over your stuff, and eventually you kind of just doze off and you're sleeping. It's kind of that absent-minded sleeping. You're not fully deep in it. You can still kind of like hear the ambient sounds around you, but you are mostly out of it. A few hours pass, and then Asimir, suddenly you awake in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. And you look around, it's dark. You hear your allies snoring in the darkness, but all the candles are out. And there's just a slight breeze whistling through the windows. And you're kind of like weird. You have that like out-of-body feeling whenever you wake up from a weird dream and you kind of don't know where you are. And just as you're kind of recalibrating yourself to the moment, you hear it before you see it because you're looking around, but you hear and you look down and the book in your lap that you fell asleep reading is open again. And once again, you see a new journal entry scroll pretty much right underneath the last one. It just starts bleeding through the page again. And you start to read it. And the voice in your mind, you hear, I find myself flummoxed in the faces of this budding mystery. Yes, all the locals will tell you the mountain is cursed. Beware the mountain. Yet any attempt to gain an understanding or substantiate the claims with actual history to these legends has proven fruitless. Even the local librarian, who stokes his ego with claims of being an autodidact, could offer me nothing but his usual dribble. It's as if they don't want me, or anybody, to know what truly happened up there. What are they running from? All you see. All you hear is the sound of the wind And that is where we'll end our session.
Nice.
Man.
Interesting.
Botanist spine on the way.
Lots of stuff happening there.
We'll go check it out.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what we do, please leave us a review. Please leave us a review. Please leave us a review. It really helps us out. And thanks again for listening.
We would not be upset if you sent us a kangaroo.
Or a room for a nice
Little row. If you're into kangaroos, you see Caligator is free on Epic Games.
So come raise your glass to the hero so bold in Persephone's Tavern, where legends are told.
Yeah, it's the end of the show, which means it's time to take a look at our bounty board. This week we have Radical Toaster, Krinko, Poinsucksit Games, 3 kobolds in a trench coat wanted for selling illegal flying potions at the gate to Dragon's Breath, asking for 50 gold pieces per kobold upon capture, plus a 50 gold bonus if you can get the set. That's all this week, but a humble thanks to all of our patrons for their continued support. If you would like to support the show and hear your name on the bounty board, find us at patreon.com/Persephone's Tavern to learn more. Thanks guys, see you next time.